Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So today we're doing a foundation declutter. Yeah, I don't know how this happened, so we're decluttering it. Before we get started, don't forget to upload every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday for you guys. If you like this video while you're watching it, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. It really does help my channel out. And other than that, if you're excited and you want to see a foundation declutter, then let's go ahead and get started. I don't know how this happened. I don't know how I got this many foundations. I'm being honest. I really did not think that I had this many, and then I was cleaning out my drawer and putting them on this table to start my declutter, and I just kept pulling more and more and more and more out, and I was like, oh, you have a lot of foundation, Emily. You need to declutter this. So that is what we are doing today. Obviously, that's what you're here for, a declutter. Now, I will say, in starting this declutter series, because I'm going to kick it off with foundations, and I'll probably do concealers and bronzers and blushes and eyeshadows and all of the above, right? I'm not going to declutter things just to declutter things. If I'm really vibing with it, I'm going to keep it. My whole point is to not have like a crazy declutter where I get rid of all my foundations. That's not my goal. My goal is to just go through what I have, keep what I'm loving and using, and get rid of what I am not. So with that being said, let's start off with two that I know for 1,000,000% sure I am keeping. This is the Purito Cica Clearing BB Cream. I have number 21 light beige, number 23 natural beige. I love this CC cream, BB cream, whatever you want to call it. Honestly, it's a foundation. It has plenty of coverage. This is just beautiful on the skin. It just makes my skin look so flawless and glowy. It literally says healthy looking glow right here. 1,000,000% correct. I love this shade for mixing in with lighter foundations that are too light for me, and then this one is just beautiful on its own. So 1,000,000% keeping both of these. One that I know I can go ahead and get rid of, this is the Range Beauty True Intentions Hydrating Foundation. So this says hydrating foundation. This is one of the most drying foundations I have ever used. Sadly, it just does not look good on my skin. It is super, super thick. I don't know if you can tell by what it looks like in the bottle, but it's such a thick foundation. It dries very quickly. It does not blend out very easily at all. Unfortunately, I have the shade Coconut Milk, which is their second lightest, and it's way too dark on me, really even in the summertime when I have a tan. So unfortunately, this is gonna have to be decluttered. Don't worry, I'm gonna try my best to give all of these foundations away to a friend or a family member or someone like that. I'm not just gonna chuck them in the trash. Just to let you know. But yeah, sadly, this is getting decluttered. Two more that I know I can definitely keep is my Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie Foundation. I have the shades LP4 and LN2. This is my summer shade and my winter normal shade. I love this foundation. It is so full coverage, but looks beautiful on my skin. It is a little bit drying, so I do have to be careful. I definitely have to prep my skin, go in with a hydrating primer because my skin is a little bit more on the dry side. But if I take the steps to really prep my skin, this looks stunning. It lasts all day long, and it literally covers up absolutely everything you need to cover. It is beautiful. Love this so much. Another one I'm going to go ahead and get rid of is the Clove Hollow. This is their liquid skin tint. This is so bad on my skin. I have the shade 01, which is just definitely way too light of a shade, which was my fault. I bought this and just bought too light of a shade. However, this looks so bad on my skin. It is so drying. It clings to absolutely every dry patches I didn't even know I had. This just looked awful on me. Definitely gonna pass this along. I'm gonna go ahead and go through a couple more that I just know 1,000,000% I'm going to keep because I love them. My ColourPop Pretty Fresh Foundation. I have the shade Fair 30N. I love this so much. It is a little bit dark for me. I can make it work, but definitely Fair 20N would work for me as well. Love this. It is so beautiful on the skin. I actually think I'm almost done with this bottle, and I will 1,000,000% repurchase it when it is gone. Another one I know I'm going to be keeping is the Physicians Formula Butter Believe It Foundation Plus Concealer. I have the shade Fair. This is kind of very similar to the Pure Love Your Selfie one. It is very full coverage, but not thick, not drying. It just is stunning on the skin. It looks beautiful. It wears all day long. I actually have had quite a few of my friends pick this up on my recommendation, and they love it as well. Such a good one. Another one I know I'm going to be keeping is my Shiseido Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation. This is the oil-free one, the original one, not the luminous one. I have the shade 130 Opal. So good. You'll sense a theme. If you watch me for a while, you kind of already know what I like in a foundation. I like it to be a full coverage, but not drying, not too thick and cakey, but just look beautiful on the skin. And this checks all those boxes. I just love it. Definitely keeping. Then I'm also going to be keeping my MAC Studio Fix Powder Foundation. So I have N4 and N3. N4 is definitely my summer shade. I don't get a ton of use out of this, but N3 is my current shade. Just it looks gross. Okay, like this is busted and crusted. I use the heck out of this. I love this foundation. It's what I use for work. It is so good. It's like one of the best powder foundations I've ever tried. It's not drying at all, but it's full coverage and covers everything up, but it's not cakey. It wears well under a mask. Love this. I've been using this powder foundation for probably 8 or 9 years at this point, and I don't ever plan on stopping. It is so stinking good. So my Glow Wish Multi, what is this exactly called? Multi-Dew Skin Tints. Alrighty, so I have the shade 01 Fair and 02 Fair Light. These were sent to me in PR. I actually think I'm going to keep both of them. I like to use the darker one in the summer to mix in, and then the lighter one right now in the winter when I'm a little bit paler to mix in. This is definitely not something I can use on its own. It is way too glowy and dewy and just honestly shimmery, and emphasizes just things I don't want to emphasize, so I don't use this on its own. How I get use out of it is I use it to mix into other foundations just to give it a little extra glow, a little extra luminosity. And using it that way, I actually really like it. It gives it a glow, but it's not oily or greasy at all. So I'm actually really enjoying these, and I'm going to keep both of them. One I think I'm going to go ahead and declutter is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. I have the shade F1. So this is one that is an actual doe foot, so you have to swipe it on. I just don't love this applicator. It's not terrible, but like I prefer a pump. But it dries really quickly. So you have to literally swipe on a little bit like on your cheek and then blend it out, your other cheek, blend it out, your forehead, blend it out, because it just dries very quickly. It also is very drying on my skin personally. It just emphasizes dryness and texture that I really am not trying to emphasize. I have given this quite a good run. I've had it for a while. I've used it, I feel like quite a few times. I've just tried my hardest to make it work for me, and I just don't love it on my skin, so I am going to be passing this one along. One that I'm a little on the fence about, but I actually do think I'm going to keep, is the Smith & Calt Veiled Threat Weightless Micro Blurring Foundation. I have no idea what's going on with Smith & Calt. They used to be in Ulta, but I don't think they are in there anymore. However, this foundation, I messed up when I bought it, and I got a shade that was too light. I ended up getting 120 Cool, and I think 130, the next one up, would have been just a way better shade match for me. So this is a little light. However, I am going to keep it because I don't mind mixing it in with other foundations. Like for instance, the Purito, just to darken it up a little bit to make it match me a little bit more. So I am on the fence about this. I'm not fully convinced that I want to keep it, but I am going to keep it to try to get a little bit more use out of it, because I feel like when I do mix it with something else, it does end up looking very beautiful on the skin. So I'm going to be keeping this one. Another one I'm going to keep is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear. I have the shade 400 Pearl. So I've been through one whole one of this before. This is my second bottle, and if you can tell, I'm about halfway done with it. It's just a nice go-to foundation. When this one is gone, I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to repurchase it. If I do, I think I'm going to get a shade darker, whatever 405 is. This is just slightly too light on me. However, it's a nice go-to foundation. It's not the most full coverage, but it wears pretty nicely on the skin. It can be slightly finicky, but when it looks good, it looks good. And I do like that it has SPF 25 in it, so I'm going to be keeping this. Another one that's pretty finicky on my skin is the Tarte Found Sealer. This also has SPF. Maybe it's the SPF in it. I'm not entirely sure. I have the shade 16N Fairlight Neutral. This is a little deep for me, especially right now. But I think I am going to end up keeping this. It's another one, like I said, that it is a little bit finicky. Sometimes it looks stunning on my skin and I couldn't love it more, and other times it just looks awful and I couldn't hate it more. So I am going to keep this and try to get a little bit more use out of it. I haven't used a ton of it. Like the L'Oreal one, when it looks good, it looks good. So I am going to be keeping this. One I think I'm going to declutter is the Kosas Tinted Face Oil. So I have the shade 02. I'm pretty sure I decluttered the last one in my last foundation declutter. I think it was 03. It was just a little bit too deep for me. I never reach for this. This is just not the type of product that I enjoy using on my skin. I have way more things to cover than this tinted face oil can give me. It's a very liquidy, very thin texture, does not provide a lot of coverage. And if that's your jam, you'd probably really enjoy this, but sadly, that's not my jam. This was sent to me in PR, But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just going to declutter this, see if a friend wants it, but if not, I honestly might throw it away because it is pretty old. I got this like pretty soon into my Instagram account, and that is like 3.5 years old. So it's definitely getting up there in age. I am going to see, like I said, if a friend wants it, but if not, I'll probably just throw this away because I don't know if it's like that good anymore, you know what I mean? Another one I'm going to be keeping is my Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue foundation. I have the shade 105 Fair. This is a really nice foundation. It's pretty full coverage. It covers up pretty much everything I need it to. It can be slightly drying on my skin, kind of like a couple other ones I've talked about. I have to prep my skin, give it a hydrating nice base to go on top of, but it is nice and pretty. I haven't used this in a while, but I remember really, really loving it. So definitely gonna keep this. Another one I'm keeping is my Dior Forever. This is their matte foundation. I have the shade 0 in. This is another one that has broad spectrum SPF. Oh, it has 35. Wow, I thought it was less than that. So this was sent to me in PR through Octoly. I'm not gonna lie. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. It was Influencer. I'm not gonna lie. I probably would have never purchased this on my own because this is like a $54 foundation. However, I love this. I think it is beautiful on the skin. It says it's matte, but it's not drying or anything like that. I know they have the luminous one as well, but this is not drying on my skin at all. It looks beautiful. It's definitely not the most full coverage foundation. I have to go in with quite a bit of it. Like I'm talking 5, 6, maybe even 7 pumps. I have to do like 2, sometimes 3 layers, which is kind of a bummer because it is such an expensive foundation that it's almost kind of a waste. However, if you like less full coverage foundations, then this would be a good one for you. But it's stunning on the skin. It wears beautiful all day long. I love this. Another one that's bougie and expensive that I also just love and I'm 100% keeping is the YSL All Hours foundation. I have the shade BR10. This is another one that was sent to me in PR, but this was through Octoly. I can 1,000,000% see myself repurchasing this once this one is gone, even though it is a very expensive foundation. It is stunning on the skin. All Hours is the perfect name for it. It really does last forever. I don't really agree with the full coverage claim. I definitely don't think it has full coverage, but it covers enough, and then I just go in with my concealer. But I am telling you, this foundation is gorgeous. It's definitely worth the splurge, and I'm definitely keeping it. Oh man, my Rare Beauty foundation. I'm getting rid of this. I have the shade 130N. You guys, this just looks awful on my skin. Every time I use it, I go into it with such an optimistic outlook that I'm like, this is gonna look better on me this time. I'm gonna love it more this time. And every single time I'm disappointed and bummed out and I hate how my skin looks. It is just drying. It's so drying on my skin. It doesn't provide a lot of coverage. It's very liquidy, so it's honestly a hot mess. Like when I open this, it just is like everywhere in there and gets everywhere. And I just really don't enjoy this foundation, sadly. So I am going to be passing this along and hopefully someone else can get more love out of it. So Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. I have the shade 2 Neutral. I have been staring at this one because I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with it. I don't love this foundation. I truly don't. Every time I use it, it looks pretty dry on my skin, and it's just a little bit too full coverage, which doesn't sound like something I would ever say because I love full coverage, but it's almost just like too much and a little cakey on my skin, and I just don't ever love how it looks. So actually, I think I am going to go ahead and declutter this, and I'm going to see if my friend Courtney wants it because she was recently asking me about this foundation and just seeing what I thought about it. And I told her, I was honest with her. I was like, it's not my favorite. So I'm actually going to declutter this. I'm going to see if she wants it. And yeah, I will do that. And I'll keep you guys updated on what she thinks. But this was so expensive. And I kind of feel bad getting rid of it, that I wasted that money on it, but really I didn't. I tried it out and I used it multiple times. And like I said, I'm going to see if my friend wants it. And she's like one of my best friends. So I definitely am happy to be able to give it to her and see if she likes it. So this RCMA foundation, I don't love this at all. I recently did a video on it. I did like a first impressions and a 9-hour wear test because Tati was just talking this baby up. And she said it was like one of the best foundations she's ever used. I have the shade N110. I'm not gonna lie, I don't love this at all. I've used this probably 4 or 5 times after that foundation review and video, and I just cannot get this to work out for me. I'm not sure why. It just looks bad on me. I'm gonna keep it and just keep trying and keep using different setting sprays and primers and powders and all of that. It just looks really dry on me and never sits correctly on my skin. It just looks like it sits on top and looks dry and cakey and then breaks up by the end of the day and gets really oily. So it honestly kind of reminds me of the NARS Radiant Longwear foundation that I just returned to Sephora. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to keep this and keep giving it a go, but I am not impressed and I really am not enjoying this very much, sadly. Another one I think I'm going to let go is the Cover FX Power Play foundation. I have the shade N20, it looks like. So this was sent to me in PR. I've only used it a couple times. However, I remember it not having a ton of coverage on me. And you guys know I like more full coverage. I like things that cover up all of my imperfections, if you will. So I'm actually going to see if one of my friends wants this. One of my friends, Hannah, she doesn't love like super full coverage like me, but she does want it to cover. So I think this would have enough coverage for her. So I'm just going to see if she wants it. If not, I'll see if someone else does. But yeah, this isn't my favorite, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. Another one that I'm like reluctantly keeping, the e.l.f. Camo CC Cream. So I have the shade Fair 120N. So when I first tried this, I actually really did enjoy it a lot, but I never reached for it, and the couple of times I have reached for it recently, I haven't loved it on me. Kind of the same thing as a couple other ones I've talked about, like I'm on the fence keeping. It's just a little drying, a little thick, a little cakey. So I am going to keep it for now and give it another go or two, because another one I'm about to talk about, that has happened to me. I didn't like it. I was like, I'm decluttering this, and then I tried it again and ended up liking it. So I'm going to do that with this, try it again, see my thoughts. So for now, I am going to keep this. And that foundation I was just speaking of is the Estee Lauder Double Wear. So I have really honestly talked crap about this in the past. I talked about how I don't really love it. I don't think it's that full coverage. It doesn't wear that well on me. I have the shade 1N0 Porcelain. But not gonna lie, I tried it again recently and I was a little more impressed with it than I remember. So I am going to keep this and keep giving it some more love and fully form my thoughts, but for now I'm going to keep. Another one I'm going to keep is my Misha Perfect Cover BB Cream. This is in the shade number 13. I have not pulled this out and used it in a while because whenever I want to go for a BB cream, I reach for my Purita Secret Clearing BB cream. I definitely like that one more, but this is very pretty. I remember the shade being pretty light, so now that we are getting into wintertime and I am getting a lot lighter and I'm not using my Isle of Paradise tanning drops anymore, I think this will match me a lot better, so I'm definitely going to be trying this out again, giving it more of a go here recently, but I remember enjoying this, so I am going to keep this. Another one I'm going to keep is my Neutrogena Flawless Matte CC Cream. This is clear coverage, and I have the shade Shell 1.0. I was actually way more impressed by this than I thought. I actually received this in PR through Neutrogena because I was doing I am going to in the future have a paid sponsorship with them on my Instagram account. So they sent this to me for that. And honestly, I like this way more than I thought I was going to. It is nice and full coverage. It says it's matte, but it's not drying at all. And it just blends in beautifully to my skin. It wears nicely all day. I don't know why I was a little on the fence about trying this, and I was like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna like this, but I actually like it way more than I thought I was going to, so definitely gonna keep this. Another one I wasn't really expecting to like that much, but I ended up liking it more than I thought, is the Clover by Clove Hollow, and this is their Skin is In Serum Foundation. I have the shade 3. So I got this sent to me in PR. I got a huge PR package from Clover by Clove Hollow recently, about a month or two ago. I did a whole video on it, trying it all out. And this was way prettier on my skin than I expected it to be. It wasn't super full coverage, but it wore nicely. It looked pretty. It blended in. It wasn't drying. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be keeping this. I need to use it again. I've only used it like twice, but I remember liking it, so I'm going to keep it. One I'm going to go ahead and get rid of. This is the Huda Beauty. This is their Faux Filter Luminous Matte Full Coverage Foundation. I have the shade Angel Food Cake 110N. So their original version of this, I had it like years ago and I completely used it up and I loved it. It was stunning on my skin, beautiful. It had that really strong Huda scent that not everyone liked, but it really honestly didn't bother me. And like I said, I used up the whole thing. I loved it. They like reformulated it, took the scent out, all of the above, and they sent this to me in PR and I was super excited to test it out. And it just did not look good on my skin at all. It looked awful. So I'm actually going to be giving this to my coworker, Abby. She loves Huda Beauty and I'm going to see if she wants it. I think she would really like this a lot more than me. I am going to go ahead and keep the Huda Beauty Stick Foundation though. They also sent this to me in PR. I have the shade Vanilla 120B. I really think I've only tried this once, and the one time I did try it, it was pretty drying on me. That seems to be how stick foundations are. I've tried like 3 or 4 in the past and I haven't really loved any of them and they've kind of all been drying on me. But I think I've only tried this like one time, so I'm going to keep it and just see if I like it or if it's drying on me, and if I end up not liking it, again, I'm going to give it to my coworker Abby and see if she wants it. But so yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on this one, but I am going to keep it for now. Another one I'm going to keep is my M Cosmetics. This is their Daydream Cushion SPF Cushion Tint. So I have the shade Cloud Dream Fair Light. So this was sent to me in PR as well. I like this. I've actually only used it like once or twice, so I definitely need to give it a go again. It's one of those cushion foundations, which is just kind of interesting, but it had pretty decent coverage the one time, or one or two times, I can't remember, that I tried it. I don't like the puffy sponge that comes with it, just to let you know. I don't like that. I just put it on with a sponge. But like I said, I've only tried it a couple times and I remember enjoying it. So I am going to keep this and try to get more love out of it. Another one I'm going to be keeping is my Believe Beauty Skin Finish Foundation. I have the shade Linen. So this unfortunately is one that you can only get at the Dollar Tree, I believe. It's like a $5 foundation and it's beautiful. You can't even get it online last time I checked, which is such a bummer. I definitely think they should put this somewhere online so people can order it, because not everyone has a Dollar General or Dollar Tree, whatever it is, around them. However, if you do, I really highly recommend this. It is very thick, but in a good way. It's decently coverage as well, and it just wears really pretty on the skin. I really enjoy this, especially for $5, so I'm definitely gonna keep it. Another one I'm gonna keep, but it's kind of like the couple other ones I've talked about, I'm a little on the fence about it. This is the Wander Beauty Nude Illusion Foundation. So I have the shade Fair. I got this into me in PR. I wanted to try this for so stinking long, and I was super, super pumped to try it, and it's not my favorite, I'm not gonna lie. First of all, Fair is like way too deep on me still, and this is the lightest one it comes in, so that's kind of a bummer. And also, it just is a little bit drying on me. It's another one of those that's a doe foot, so maybe it's like just that sort of formula that I don't love, but I've only tried it a couple times, so I am going to keep it and keep giving it some love. But yeah, it's just kind of like, okay. Y'all, I haven't even tried this. I feel so bad. This was sent to me in PR. This is the Cover FX Luminous Tinted Moisturizer. So this is the shade Fair. I don't even know if this sticker's off of it. Okay, so it is. Let me do a little swatch. I really don't. Okay. I guess the bottle kind of throws me off. It makes me think that this is going to be like way too dark. Okay, that actually looks like a decent shade match. I guess I'll keep this and give this a go. Like I said, I literally just haven't even tried it yet. So okay, I'll keep this and try it out and keep you updated, but not gonna lie, just from that swatch and the texture of it, I don't think it's gonna be something that I enjoy, but I will try it out and then decide after that. Alrighty, and then my last foundation, this is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation, but obviously the powder version and not the liquid. I again have the shade, oh, Pearl, but this is 5 this time instead of 400. I don't know. As you can see, I've only tried it a couple times. It is a little bit light on me from what I remember, but I do remember like decently liking it. I just thought it was too light. So I don't know what to do about this because my MAC foundation, the Studio Fix, is honestly my favorite powder foundation ever. But also, I think I'm going to declutter this. I think I'm going to declutter this and see if one of my friends wants it. I'm going to spray it down with some of my makeup sanitizing spray and see if one of my friends wants this because I like never use this. And if I am going to reach for a powder foundation, it's going to be my MAC one. Alrighty, so just to recap, these are all foundations I'm going to keep. There's 28 of them. That's probably still too many foundations. However, some of these are ones that like I have 2 shades, one for summer, one for winter. Some of these are ones that I just really mixed together with other foundations. Some of them I'm a little on the fence about, I haven't tried or I'm going to be trying again, that kind of thing. So I feel good about keeping all of these ones. These are ones that I either love with my whole entire heart, and I definitely cannot see myself in my foundation collection without them, and then other ones that I just need to give a go again and fully form my thoughts on before I decide what to do with them in the future. But again, these are all of the foundations I'm going to be keeping, and these right here are going to be the foundations that I am decluttering. It's only 9 of them, but again, like I said in the beginning of the video, I'm not decluttering just to declutter and have like a cool title saying I decluttered half of my foundations. I really only want to get rid of the ones that I'm truly not reaching for, or when I do reach for them, I just don't like them on my skin. So these are going to be ones that I'm going to pass along to friends, maybe a family members, just to see if they want to give them a go. But I feel good. I feel good about these 9. These are truly ones that I am not reaching for, or I just really don't like on me. So that was it, you guys. That was my foundation declutter. I hope you enjoyed this while you were watching. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. You're awesome and I love you. Please subscribe if you have not yet, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye, guys.